Hey guys, welcome back to the Lorule Lounge. This is the first segment of episode 7, and as something a little bit different this time, I've decided not to bring back any of the regular hosts, so instead I'm going to feature two new guests. Well, one has already been on the podcast before, but anyway, so meet Domozilla777
Hello.
and YIGAhim.
Hey,
So, now that we've all been introduced, this time we're going to be talking about music, because music is awesome, and we all love music. Or at least I hope we all do. If not, then you need to reevaluate your life choices. Anyway, so yeah, basically in this segment we're gonna talk about like what kind of music we listen to, what kind of music we like to play, maybe delve into a bit of what our future plans are. So I'll start off by asking Doma, what instruments do you play, if any?
Well, I've played quite a few instruments over the years. I started out with guitar about 10 years ago. Didn't really go super far with that. And then, I've kind of been playing, ukulele and guitar on and off. Then, just a few years ago, I picked up, mellophone and trumpet, which is, what I've been doing more frequently nowadays.
You play in like marching band and stuff, right?
Yeah, I play in marching band, and so mellophone is like a for those of you who don't know, it's like a French horn, but you can hold it like a trumpet.
It's basically like a trumpet that had one too many Twinkies.
Basically, that's a good
All
way
right.
of putting it.
All right. What about you, Yiga?
uh, I started out in like fourth grade playing the recorder, and that never goes far. But after that, in fifth grade, I picked up the trumpet. Halfway through sixth grade, I switched to French horn. Uh, Ninth grade, which is the year I'm in now, I started playing mellophone too, like Dom, for football band, pep band, marching band, all that. I still play trumpet and French horn. Those are the three that I play regularly.
Man, recorder is like the most badass instrument of all.
Oh
I
yeah.
think I think that's where everybody gets their start. I started in third grade and we played
Now that-
recorder.
Now that
And
I
I
think
got-
about it, I do remember playing recorder at one point a
Yeah.
long time ago.
We
It's
did
super
marimbas
fun
in
too.
third grade. You just kind of bang on them.
Marimbas. Really? That's interesting. Yeah, I started with recorder back in like third grade. I also did choir back when I used to be lead soprano back
Ooh.
Oh, very nice.
when I had a high pitched, squeaky, annoying voice. Yeah. And then started elementary school. I moved to a different town. We started elementary school and we started learning guitar. I didn't get very far with that. I didn't pick up guitar after that because I don't know why. I started playing. I took piano lessons in grade 5, and then in grade 6 I started band playing trumpet. But after the first year, I don't know why, I switched to drums because I guess I just didn't like trumpet. I don't know. I like it now, and I kind of want to pick it up again, but I don't know. And I've been playing drums ever since, and now I'm going to school for it. I actually study drum performance at a local university.
Cool.
And I did piano up to grade 8. Played in my high school jazz band and all that fun stuff. Yeah. So the next thing I want to talk about is what kind of music you like to listen to or you like to play. And I'll start with YIGAhim this time. Or YIGAhim. I don't know how to pronounce your name.
YIGAhim.
Yeah,
Um,
that works.
So mostly the kind of music I listen to is jazz, instrumental. I don't like word music just in general. I listen to a bit of the video game music. Right now I'm listening to Big Blue from Mario Kart 8, It's got some killer sax. Yeah. And I like to play uh, jazz music too. I play a couple things from Zelda. I'm working on the parasailing theme from Breath of the Wild on my trumpet right now.
I have no idea how that goes. Never played Breath of the Wild. I'm
Ooh.
still a Breath of the Wild virgin over here.
It's a really nice one. It's got some cool trumpet.
There's lots
not
of
that
really
hard.
good. Zelda
I don't
music to
think
play.
I think I've only heard the parasailing theme once.
I really like it.
I think the only like Breath of the Wild theme I've heard is the Rito's Village.
Yeah,
Not
that's a
Cass's
pretty good
theme.
one.
I don't
Cass's
know.
theme is a good one. I like that one. I got the sound selection, and I was I mean, it's not a very good sound selection, but I got it anyways, and it's not horrible.
Well, that's good.
Yeah. Well, just out of curiosity, when you say you listen to jazz, but you don't like lyrical jazz, so you obviously don't listen to Ella Fitzgerald or anything like that.
No, not really.
She's like the jazz queen. What? Who do you listen to then, mostly?
For people?
Yeah.
Well, I go on YouTube, and mostly anybody that pops up in my recommended feed, Dr. Saxlove, he's a YouTube guy, does a lot of saxophone stuff. Oscar Peterson Trio, that's pretty good. I like their, those are like the only people I know by name. Most of the rest of it is just like forgettable names with pretty good songs.
So you listen to more contemporary then?
Yeah, the voices and the words are never my thing, and then it turns into the like scatting, and that's even worse.
I love scatting, man.
Oh God, that's disgusting.
We'll agree to disagree on that one. I mean, I go to a jazz school, so scatting is part of the curriculum for most people.
Ooh.
But it's fun. What about you, Dom?
For me, I listen to, I've listened to some jazz. I like it. I've been recently listening to a lot of symphonic music, and a lot of kind of a little more. I don't know what you would call it. Electronic music, sort
like
of
electronica.
EDM.
When you say
Like
when
that.
you say electronic, you don't mean like dubstep or house.
No. I mean, I don't know what you call it, but it's more melodic.
Okay.
Because
I
I
get what you
really
mean.
like listening to like a lot of different parts of music kind of go together and kind of weave a really cool melody and whatnot. And so I think that some of this more modern electronic music, I guess, has been really pretty awesome recently. I've been listening to some of it. But I guess I've always been more of a symphonic kind of music guy. For a while now. One of the reasons why I love Zelda so much is because of the music.
Oh yeah.
Zelda music is fantastic. But if you're ever feeling lost, you need something to listen to. Darude Sandstorm. That's some good stuff right there. If you like electronic.
Which is that from?
It was a big meme back in like 2000,
Yeah.
2013, 2014.
Hmm.
I'll show it to you after this. Anyway, as for myself, I grew up listening to mostly stuff from the 70s and 80s, classic rock and pop from the 80s. And then as I got through high school, I started listening to a lot of metal, actually. And then I got to university, and like I said, I go to a jazz school. Well, it's not really a jazz school. It's like half jazz and then half contemporary stuff. So I listen to a lot of jazz now. A bit of everything, actually. Classic Dixieland, 30s and 40s stuff, classic swing, modern contemporary stuff, lots of different. But my musical tastes are very wide. In fact, there isn't really anything I don't like, but mostly I listen to contemporary stuff. And, Miley Cyrus, of course, is great. That's pretty much my shit right there. Aside from that, video game music, great one. Anything from John Williams, great.
Yes.
Or Danny Elfman.
I agree with you on that one.
Maybe not Danny Elfman. I don't know too much of his stuff. The first thing that comes to mind is This Is Halloween, and that's just not my thing.
This is Nightmare Before Christmas, man. It's amazing.
I haven't seen that, or at least not in my memory.
I haven't seen it, but I've heard the music, and it's not bad. Not bad.
You guys should watch it. Danny Elfman even sings on it. It's really good. Or, Danny Elfman did the original, the score for the original Spider-Man movies, too.
He did Simpsons theme too, right?
Did he? That I don't
Yeah,
know.
I think so. I like that one.
That I didn't know.
Yeah, he did.
But aside from those, like I said, I listen to a bit of everything. My Spotify has probably every genre, pretty much. By the way, if you guys like electronica, there's a band called Go Go Penguin. They're like a jazz trio, but they're electronica inspired, so they do all the break beats and everything, and it's electronica jazz basically. It's acoustic electronica is what they call themselves. They're super cool. You should check them out.
What was that name again?
Go Go Penguin.
Go Go Penguin. I'll have to look at it.
It's my favorite jazz group. And then, in terms of playing, mostly nowadays I play jazz because I'm super into it. I was a metal drummer most of my life. Like, most of my time as a drummer. In high school, I played, in jazz band and everything. But in my free time, I played metal. And I don't know how to anymore. I lost all my metal chops, unfortunately. But it's okay. Jazz is good. Jazz is fun. It's hard.
I think the thing about drums and jazz is that they don't get enough variety. I mean, like, when they do heavier stuff, they kind of get to go all around and do all this new stuff. But on jazz, they're kind of stuck to the good old. I don't play drums, so I don't know what it is. But that one kind of rhythm over and over, like piano and the bass.
It's not totally true though, because there's lots of freedom, lots of improvising. I actually think it's more complex in jazz music because there's a lot more freedom. In metal music, you basically have to play what they play on recordings or whatever.
Yeah, because in metal music, they tend to have a lot of those iconic beats that you just have to replicate exactly, or it doesn't sound right.
Yeah, basically. Anyway, I guess we should move on now because I think we've all made our points there pretty clear. So, how long have you guys been playing for? Like, when did you first become interested in music?
Well, as I said earlier, I started out playing guitar, about 10 years ago now. And, well, so yeah, that's real. I'm not counting recorders, sorry. That's really when, I just started getting into music. Then I didn't really do much with it for a while until I joined my local marching band, and that actually really got me into just performance and playing music with a group. It's one of my favorite things, just playing music. That really just hit off, and that was about 3 years ago that I joined. Ever since then, I've joined symphonic band, jazz band. I've done, I played stuff at my church. Just every opportunity I get, I try to get more practice performing in, because ultimately that's what I want to do in college. I want to be a performance major, or a musical performance major.
That's what I'm doing.
On trumpet. So I actually just learned to read music like last year.
Really?
So that was a big thing, because beforehand, like, I just played guitar and I was like, that's a G chord, that's an E chord, that's an A minor. I didn't actually have to read actual music until I joined band, and it was like, I don't know how to do this. So kind of struggled through the first year and a half, but then I was like, I gotta get myself together here.
Reading music is extremely valuable for anybody, even as a drummer. It's really useful. But I remember when I first started my first year of university, we had to take theory classes, and every drum major except myself, since I had done 6 years of music theory before, didn't know what to do. They struggled. The first month of the class was name this note, build this chord, what's this interval? And then after the second month we got into analysis and harmony.
Mm-hmm.
So it moved really quickly. Second year we had to do jazz analysis, which is crazy. And we in second year, every student who isn't a piano major has to take a piano course. That's also starts out with just like learning where the notes are and playing notes and then playing triads and stuff. And then after the first month, you have to, realize jazz lead sheets and play walking bass lines with your left hand. After like a month of playing, it's insane. But yeah, music theory is really good. Being able to read music is definitely extremely important.
Yeah, speaking on music theory and such, I'm taking or you're talking about keyboard skills. I'm taking it. I forgot to mention. I'm taking keyboard skills lesson or class at college. So technically, I semi-play piano as well. Technically, sort of, not really, but I just thought I'd throw that out. Forgot about that earlier.
Yeah, piano was fun. Like I said, I got my grade 8 in classical piano, and then I started going to jazz school. And classical piano and jazz piano are two completely different entities, so it was like starting over from scratch again.
Yeah, piano is a very hard switch from what I'm used to. I've been playing one-handed instruments my entire life, and I switched to two hands. I don't know what to do.
Yeah, lots of coordination. Try being a drummer, using 4 limbs at once.
Yeah, right? I don't
using
know how
4
you
limbs
guys do
independently. It takes a lot of practice. It does.
I played piano for maybe 2 weeks, and then I'm like, Mom,
nice.
I quit.
Nice.
Yeah.
But for real, like I'm at school practicing, 5-6 hours a day. It's crazy. My program is
Vigorous.
insane.
Rigorous.
It's very vigorous. Rigorous, yes.
Rigorous, not
That's
vigorous.
the word. And then my drum teacher, he gives constantly, like every week, gives me new stuff to work on. It's like, let me solidify what I'm working on this week before you give me new stuff, please. So my workload just piles and piles and piles and piles and piles, and it gets crazy.
Well, you like it, don't you?
I love it. I've already spent 2 years here. I'm in my 3rd year now. I wouldn't have come back if I didn't like it.
How many years is the school?
It's a 4-year program, but I'm missing a few electives, so I'm probably gonna have to do an extra year. Unfortunately. But yeah, I started playing music I started taking it seriously when I took piano lessons in 5th grade, and I never thought I'd stick with it this much. I used to want to go to school for science. I was like, yeah, I'm going to be a chemist when I get older. That evidently didn't happen.
Chemistry is rough, man.
Science was never my thing.
I didn't know it. I did not enjoy that class.
Chem was my best class in high school, but that's getting off topic. Next I want to talk about like how much you guys have advanced since you started. Like, you know what I mean, right?
Yeah.
You start off and then you think, wow, this is really hard and I don't think I'm ever going to get anywhere. And then a few years later, you're at this spot where it's like, wow, I never thought I'd be here. You guys, are you at that spot yet?
Yeah. Well,
I would say, yeah, somewhat.
You're at that spot where you thought, wow, I didn't think I was ever going to make it this far.
my original plan was to do band for the 1 year my mom required me to do it and then quit. But I liked it enough to keep going, and now I feel like I'm at a lot better a spot than I thought I would be, but I'm not quite there yet,
That was the same thing that happened to me, really. Like, I got through 2 years of band in elementary school when it was required, and then I started doing it in high school, and I loved it.
That's how it goes.
In fact, now I'm actually playing with a local wind symphony, so it's pretty cool. Basically, it's like high school, but 3 times as hard. And I'm not getting paid for it. I'm paying $150 a year.
Were you a drum major in high school for your band?
I was, yes.
Cool.
Yeah, section leader. I won the music award 2 years in a row.
Cool.
Which is pretty sweet. Anyway, so the final thing I really want to talk about is, your future plans, where you hope to be 20 years from now. And I'll start with Yiga.
20 years from now, my plans to Well, I finally picked up the soprano sax. That's the coolest saxophone to me.
Oh,
I
hell
always
yeah.
wanted to do a reeded instrument, and I thought, well, sax is the coolest. But for the instruments I do right now, I hope to have continued going on in school with it, and hopefully join a nice, not exactly like garage band, but like a group of friends where you hang out and play music. That's my goal.
Sweet. You should try out music school is for university. When you're in an environment around, like, literally every person around you is a musician, you can just walk up to anybody and be like, hey, yo, you want to go jam? Or, hey, you want to do a gig next week? And then you get some songs prepared and then you go do it. It's awesome.
That sounds like the dream right there.
Oh, it is. If you're willing to pay $9,000 a year.
Well, if you love it, then you do it, and I certainly love it.
That is very true. What about you, Dom? Where are you hoping to be 20 years down the road?
20 years down the road, ideally, I'll, have mastered trumpet, mellophone. I'll be going in for a major in music, performance, obviously, as I said. I'd love to be in, like a symphony or something like that at some point. Maybe get a job in music performance, or possibly playing in a band or something like that. That'd be ideal for me.
One thing I've wanted to try is like forming an online band, with people who don't live anywhere near you, where you just get together on Skype and jam.
That would be fun.
It'd be hard
I
to
think that's something
coordinate.
it would, but it'd be something that would be super fun.
Yeah, I
And then you could
agree.
even record and stuff.
That's the next ZD event right there.
That would actually be super cool.
ZD
That'd be
Music
fun.
Jam 2017,
That's
2018
this is
probably.
Super good idea. Maybe I'll actually bring that up.
Yeah,
I'll
we
actually
should
bring that up because
consider
I
that.
really like that. I really like that idea. But yeah, as for myself, obviously I'm working on a bachelor's degree in music performance. After that, I want to teach. I want to really work as a freelance drummer, because I don't want to get into a band and play the same 20 songs 6 nights a week for a year and then do it again the next year, I don't want that kind of career. I want to work as a freelancer and, like, 4 or 5 nights a week go do a gig with different musicians and play different kinds of music. That's my main appeal, aside from teaching, because I really want to be a music teacher. That's what I've always wanted to do. That's my main goal. And maybe dabble in composing. I don't know. I'm pretty terrible at composing.
Arranging is
Yeah.
is pretty easy. If you want to do some arranging, that'd be something you could do.
I'm decent at arranging, actually. I rearranged I tried rearranging a couple Zelda songs for my percussion ensemble. We're playing one right now.
Cool, which one?
Mulgara's theme.
Whoa, that's cool.
It's super cool. I worked on it over the summer. I might record it, like, just by myself.
Is that the one from Spirit Tracks?
Wind Waker.
Wind
Yeah,
Waker.
that'd be from Wind Waker.
The boss of the final dungeon. It's the super catchy.
Da, 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 da.
Yeah.
It's a good one.
Very recognizable.
Cool.
Really kind of laid back for a boss theme, actually. But it's really cool. And I rearranged the Pokemon Red and Blue trainer battle theme for a percussion ensemble as well.
Fancy.
Never played Pokemon,
Yeah.
so I wouldn't know that one.
Never played Pokemon.
Yeah, and I'm
Man.
on Bulbagarden doing all those forum games going, what am I doing here?
Well, you're playing a Mafia game on Bulba Garden right now.
That's exactly why I joined, and then I just kind of got hooked into their other stuff.
Oh, I haven't checked out their forum games yet.
Yeah, I went on Bulba Garden, but I completely forgot to sign up for the Mafia when you told me to. So, no.
Oh, well. It's full now
Next
anyway.
time. That's
But
besides
man.
the point, I guess.
Yeah, man, you want to talk good music. Pokemon's got some pretty swaggin' tunes.
I love Blue's theme. Or, no, his name's not Blue. Gary Oak.
Gary Oak's theme. That's a good one. I actually, Generation 3, the Hoenn games, have probably the best music in the series, in my opinion. Maybe the X and Y as well.
Haven't played either of those.
Really? You should check them
I kind
out.
of stuck to the, I played Fire Red, and then I skipped a generation and played the rest of them up till Black and White.
Black and White aren't my favorites. They're my least favorite games.
Yeah, they kind of killed it for me.
My sister and I watched the black and white TV shows when we were younger. And then I'm like, wait a sec. I could be watching, more grown-up shows. I mean, it's just that the animated anime kind of thing is not my thing. And my sister hasn't made that any easier because that's like her entire deal.
The Black and White series was the worst series of the anime by far. I mean, I haven't watched the whole thing, but I've only seen snippets of it, but it's pretty bad.
You gotta go with the original season, man.
Original series. No, the Orange Islands is the best season in my opinion. It's the most.
Oh no, I do remember that
it's
one.
The most,
that one was
most original, I think. But anyway, once again, that's getting off topic. So in my notes, I wrote, maybe I'll say something else here. IDK. I have no idea if I actually want to say something else here. And I'm not editing this out because this is going into the final show because I don't know why.
Sounds good.
Yep. I guess, thank you guys for joining me in this. I think we got some good discussion here.
Yeah, no problem.
And it was nice to have some new people on for once instead of the same 3 regular people.
Yeah. Kind of feels like the roleplay section.
Yeah, it kind of does in a way. Anyway, so yeah, I guess that concludes this segment of the Lorule Lounge. So I guess I'm going to pass the show over not to Petter this time. I'm passing the show over to Chase because Chase is doing the review debate this time, so that should be good. So thank you everybody for listening to this and enjoy the rest of the show.
Hello everyone and welcome back to the review debate. It's not Petter this time, it's me because we switched topics this week. So today I'm going to be debating against our very own Tristan.
Hey fam.
And we are going to be fighting something that everybody has an opinion on. Most of their opinions are the same as mine. Tristan's was weird. That's right, we're doing Mac versus PC. Where
what are you going to do about it?
I'm going to say that the Apple sucks. And stuff like that. They'll put the people on my side. But you know what? That's not important. What's important now is what we're going to be doing. So we're going to have 3 different topics we're going to be doing. Usually 4, but we couldn't think of a 4th one that was impartial. Because, honestly, they both have very strong... when they have their strengths, they completely outdo everything else, the other one at that strength. Do you agree?
Yeah. Definitely agreed on that point.
I'd argue that's probably why it's so divisive. But we had to choose 3, so our first one is going to be which one has the better first-party browser.
Yeah. Microsoft Edge? Are you kidding me?
Hey, it's better than Explorer.
That's true. It's better than Internet Explorer, but that doesn't really say much. And, okay, I don't use Safari. I'm not a big fan of Safari, but at least Safari runs. At least you can open it. At least you can have some sort of reliability when you're trying to browse the internet. I've never used Microsoft Edge, but I used Internet Explorer because I was using my grandma's computer and she doesn't know the difference. And it took we had high-speed internet and it still took 5-6 minutes to load web pages sometimes. So
yeah.
I downloaded Chrome instead. And I primarily use Chrome now, but I sometimes still use Safari, and Safari is still very reliable. Not only on Macs, but also on iPhones and iPod Touches and iPads.
Yeah, so
I'd like to see your Microsoft Edge on your Samsung phone.
Well, I don't have a Microsoft phone. That's why it's not on my phone. If I had a Microsoft phone, it would
Nobody
quite
has a
possibly be on
Microsoft phone.
there. I know this because It's because they're not very good, let's be honest. But, we're not here to argue phones. If we were, then you'd be utterly wrecked. But we're not here to argue phones. We're here to argue computers. And I'm going to say about our browser is that it looks better.
You
honestly,
think so?
Safari is ugly.
I mean,
I don't I haven't really used Safari very much on computers, but when I use it on my phone, I just didn't like the look of it. I mean, it's got.
I don't
think
it looks that bad on.
I mean, it's
even on computers.
I admit that's probably one of the most opinionated things. I can't really support that with any facts or whatever, but.
What is it about Safari that you think doesn't look nice?
I mean, it's just kind of blocky, and it doesn't. Everything that it has is just all gray. At least, there's a fair amount of blue when you're using Edge.
Okay,
that's like a difference in color. It doesn't all look the same. It's a small thing, but small things go long ways when you're dealing with shit.
I suppose. I mean, Safari being a bland color just kind of goes in line. It's rather consistent with what Apple does with their products anyway.
You're right, Apple's not very good at designing. Well, actually, Apple is really good at design, but... Still, that's not...
Are you lost? Am I already winning this?
Let's be honest, I lost at the start, but we're going to keep doing it.
Let's just go on to the next category.
All right, yeah. Okay, big surprise. We're going to agree Microsoft browsers suck.
Yeah.
Which is why we're going to go into gaming.
Oh, fuck you. Okay, but I'm gonna be realistic. I wouldn't buy a Mac if it was for gaming.
That's right, because Macs suck at gaming. If gaming's what you care about.
No, it's not because they suck at. It's not because they suck at gaming. Like, my MacBook Pro can handle most games. It's just that the software library isn't as expansive as Microsoft's. Yeah. So a lot of games you can't run. But that's more a fault of Apple rather than their computers.
Yes, but it still comes... it's not the fact that it's the fault of the computers, but it still affects the computers, and therefore it's still a worthy thing to argue about.
I mean, that's true, but you buy a PC, you're going to buy an expensive gaming PC because you like gaming. Even a cheap PC laptop does a really terrible job running most games. Like, my old laptop, I spent $800 on it, and it could barely run Tetris.
Yeah, there's always going to be, lower-end computers that aren't very good, no matter which company you're going with. But when you're going towards the top-of-the-line computers, a lot of times things that are using like Microsoft computers, Microsoft parts, or even just using Windows generally, is going to be generally better at gaming.
That's true, because they're built for that. MacBook computers are built more... Their purpose... They're notebooks is what they are. So that's what they're built to do. They're not built for gaming like PCs are. So really, I mean... I'm not, like I said earlier, I'm not going to buy a Mac because I want to game. I'm going to buy a Mac because it's better than PC for other things.
All right.
Not necessarily gaming. For example, I use it for music and audio production. The first-party software...
I'm not going to buy a computer for music and software production because I don't care about music software production. I care about gaming.
And I don't really care about gaming. Or at least not PC gaming.
And... But the good news for me is the topic isn't music production. The topic is gaming.
That's true. But we could have done another category on
But you didn't suggest it, so we didn't.
On first party Apple software. But that's okay. I mean, I sure I can give you this round, but I mean.
Well, let's be honest. I gave you last round.
Okay, that's fair. But even still, I can still play some games. My MacBook Pro runs Minecraft just fine. It runs The Sims 3 just fine. It overheats a bit on Roller Coaster Tycoon 3, but that game is really bad anyway.
Oh boy, Roller Coaster Tycoon
PCs.
3.
Even on PCs, it makes those computers overheat too. But I mean, those are like the only PC games I play. And it plays Team Fortress 2 really well as well. I can't play
So that's-
Overwatch. I'll give you that. I can't play Overwatch, but I don't care about Overwatch. All right? I just don't care. So that's not something that I'm going to put my computer down over. It's something I don't care about.
I feel like this argument was broken at the start. But but we really should have chosen
All
better
right.
topics.
Well, let's move on then.
Yeah, so the one that actually either of us have the chance to win. The user interface.
Which
I'm
is
gonna look up
entirely
the app.
subjective.
Yes,
But-
yes it is. Just like everything else on this thing.
What I will say to preface this is that Apple computers have a lot more pixels on the screen than PCs do, and you can really tell because the definition of the images is so much clearer. It just looks so much prettier. And my navigation bar on the bottom where all my apps is uber convenient. I don't have to double click anything on the desktop. I don't have to go into the start menu to find my applications. No, they're all just neatly organized in a little bar on the bottom of the screen. It's just go over them, and as soon as you move your mouse over them, it highlights what it is, and then all you have to do is click it, and it opens.
Yeah, you
Super
can-
convenient.
Yes, you can do that on Microsoft too, except you can choose which ones are down there. You can put only the ones that you use a lot down there, so they're not as all clumped together. They look better.
It's the exact same thing with my computer. I can
Yes.
take any of these that I want down. I can put them on the desktop to make them clickable on the desktop. I can move them into the Finder, so you have to go into the Finder to find them. It's the exact same thing. It just looks nicer, and I actually think it's
Like, it's
PC stole it from Apple because Macs did it first.
it doesn't matter who stole it, because so much stuff in just about any not genre, but any what's the word? Industry. The word's industry.
That's a good word. And you know
Yeah.
what? The display for PCs, everything is too blocky. Like with Apple products, everything is, it's all nice and curvy, rounded edges, and everything just looks so nice. On a PC, everything just seems all blocky and pixely. It's not pleasing to the eye.
I actually kind of like it. Like, I like the firm structures that come with it.
But that's an opinion. It's not anything that, it's not some big objective fact.
Literally nothing we've argued tonight is a big objective fact.
I mean,
Unless you want to talk about price points.
I'm not even gonna go there. But to be honest, I do get my money's worth out of my computer because this is the fastest computer I've ever had. The virus protection that Apple really cares about their consumers, and the virus protection on Macs is like nothing you download from the internet you can download without typing your admin password. So malware can't sneak its way on, which I love. It's way more protected than PCs are. The display is beautiful. Like I said, it's so many pixels. The sound is great. Like I said, it's the fastest computer I've ever had. The processing power is really great. The one thing I'll say is that the hard drive space is very limited, but that's okay because I have a 2 terabyte external hard drive anyway. So why do I need hard drive space on my computer? I do get my money's worth out of it.
Because the hard drive space on your computer is used faster.
But I don't use hard drive space on my computer anyway. My computer is empty.
Yes, but if you did use the stuff on your computer, then you'd be able to access it faster.
So then I'll keep
Speed
the
is
stuff
important.
I'll keep the important stuff that I need on my computer, and the stuff that I don't use as much off of it. And I'm still using up less than half of the available hard drive space.
Are we? That's not even user interface anymore, is it? We're talking hardware now.
Well, we started going into price points, and I just wanted to say that I get my money's worth.
Oh yeah, you
out
just
of this
wanted to say
computer.
that you got a worse hard drive for your price.
No, I wanted to say that I get my money's worth. That's the only criticism I'd really have. And my particular computer was discounted. I got a pair of $300 Beats by Dre headphones that came with it. Plus, I got about $2,000 worth of software absolutely free.
Did you waste money on Beats by Dre?
Huh?
Did you waste money on Beats by Dre?
No, they were free with my computer.
Oh, so the headphones were free.
I would never buy that crap.
Okay, good. All right, my faith in you as a human being has been restored.
I'm just saying, like, I got my money's worth because I also got about $1,500 to $2,000 worth of software absolutely free. Of course, that's not really the computer. That's through my school. But
Yeah,
still.
I mean, I get a lot of the same thing from school. It's really, but once
Anyway.
yeah, we're going way off topic at this point.
Point is, Macs and PCs are both very different, but Macs are better.
The point is, Macs and PCs are very different, but most people seem to agree that PCs are better, and therefore PCs are better.
Most people have no faith in Apple. They don't give the computers enough of a chance, just because of
You're
the
right.
brand
Just
behind
because we
them.
don't want to give, just because
It's
we don't want to give
100%
money
a
to Apple.
biased thing. I bet you anything, if people who always say shit about Macs actually got one, actually tried it out, they'd love it. They'd barely even notice a difference.
I disagree. I used a Mac before, and I just couldn't get past the mouse.
Was that one of the old iMacs from the early 2000s that are slow as hell? Because they've really stepped up their game lately.
No, this is like the stuff that my school has and everything. My school is the only place they've ever used Macs.
Oh.
But just the stupid mouse. You don't have a right click. How do you live without a right click?
Well, on my laptop, on the laptop trackpad, all you have to do is use 2 fingers, and that's a right click.
Trackpad.
Or you can just control. You can just control click. The mouse wheel in the middle goes in all directions. It's not just up and down; it goes left and right as well. So that's always nice.
Okay, maybe we're talking about 2 very different mice, because the mouse I had like only a little tiny ball, and that was all you got for the scrolling.
Yeah, those ones are shit. But the good ones
so we
are
can
good.
agree. Well, I admit, like the Magic Mouse and stuff, that's good. But the stuff that they have with all the computers I've used, no bueno.
But anyway, at least the mice are affordable.
Wait, is the Magic Mouse one? Yes, the mice are affordable. The one thing.
I also really love the feel of the Apple Macintosh keyboards. I
Wait.
just can't go back to using a PC keyboard.
The Magic Mice are $80 for a mouse.
$80? Wow.
Are you sure it's affordable?
Well, my old roommate bought a mouse for his PC that he spent $300 on, so, I mean...
Well, yeah, but that was probably like a gaming mouse. I got mine from Goodwill for $5, and it works fine.
And, I mean, any mouse is compatible. The mouse... I bet you anything the mouse you use is not made by Microsoft.
Actually, it is. It has the word Microsoft written on it.
Oh.
Like,
Well,
I'm gonna... Oh, no, my phone's dead. After we're done here, let's just move into like a private call so I can show you that it says the word Microsoft in the middle of my mouse.
I believe you. But anyway, I think we have... I think I won this argument. I think
that nobody won this argument. It's kind of impossible to win this argument because Mac users and PC users are looking for 2 very different things.
Yeah.
I think that's what I got out
But
of it.
I still stand by that if Mac computers didn't have the Apple name behind them, they'd have a much higher user base.
Yes, however, it does, and that affects them heavily.
It affects them heavily, but doesn't make them any worse as computers.
Well, I'd argue it makes it worse for gaming because the gaming library would be much bigger if people were to be using it more often.
Well, if more people own the computers, then they'd probably put more focus on gaming.
But more people don't own the computers because it's got the Apple name behind it.
So that just comes full circle, but that's not a fault of the computer, that's a fault of the brand.
But it's the brand that made the computer. The computer and the brand are intertwined.
Okay, this is going nowhere.
Yeah, well, let's be honest, we both knew it wasn't going to go anywhere from the very start.
That's true, but sometimes you have to have something a little bit more lighthearted.
Yeah, definitely. This is a good time.
It was.
Well, thanks for working with me, Tristan, and I don't know, do we go to Penn next, or...?
Yeah, with the master
Okay.
quiz. And don't worry, everybody. Next week will be a lot more professional.
Yes. And next week you'll have Petter back here, you'll have me back in the Master Quiz, and everything will be as it should.
Yeah.
Hopefully. Goodbye.
Welcome one and all to the Master Quiz. I will be your host for this segment. You were expecting DekuNut, but it was me, Pendio.
Boo.
Awful jokes aside, this is me, Pendio anyway, as I said. I will be hosting the segment today because, as it turns out, last episode, Chase somehow won the competition and now has to defend his title as champion of the Master Quiz. And he will be facing off against our good old Musicfan today. Welcome, the both of you.
Thank you. I'm ashamed to be here.
I certainly hope I don't have to be here for the next episode. My questions shouldn't be too hard. So as per
You'd think that.
yeah, I guess so. I mean, yeah, this is my first time attempting to host a quiz show, so we'll see how it goes. It's gonna be fun, I think. As per classical Master Quiz rules, as Chase have put up in the past, any point that neither of the contestants is able to answer will go to me, the host. So hopefully I won't get too many points here. The topic in today's quiz is Pokemon. And yeah, I guess without further ado, we'll get going with it. Question 1.
Well, we should probably let everybody else know our sounds before we get started. Just
Good point.
so they know
Yeah.
what's happening.
Good point. So, Musicfan, would you like to show us your buzzer sound?
Okay.
That's it. It's just him going, okay. So, and DekuNut, what's your buzzer sound? Yep. That's
Yeah, I squeak my chair enough anyway. I may as well use it.
yeah. It's awesome. Now then, you guys ready for the first question?
Yes, I am.
Let's do it.
Do it to it. So, out of the currently existing Pokemon types or elements, which ones were not present in the first generation?
Okay.
Oh, that was very tight. I think I did hear the chair first, though, so I'll give the word to Chase.
Okay, so you want me to name all the types that weren't there in the first generation?
Yes.
Okay, so let's go through this. Steel was not in there. Dark, Fairy, I want to say Ice?
Is that your final answer?
Yeah, Steel, Dark, Fairy, Ice.
You are incorrect. I will pass the word over to Musicfan. Do you have an answer?
It is just Steel, Dark, and Fairy.
That's correct.
Oh.
Ice was there. You were super close, Chase.
Oh.
So, now, on to question 2. How many baby Pokemon were introduced in the second generation? This one might be a little bit hard.
Yeah, because you got to count them all in your head and not forget any.
Yeah, you have time, though. You have time.
Okay.
All right. Musicfan?
I want to say 6.
That is incorrect. Chase, do you have a guess?
I'm going to say 5 because I can think of 4 and I swear there's one I forgot.
5 is actually further away from the correct answer. I'm
What?
sorry. Yeah, there were 8 baby Pokemon introduced in Generation 2.
8.
Yeah, I can list them for you. There was Pichu, Cleffa, Igglybuff, Togepi, Tyrogue, Smoochum, Elekid, and Magby.
I'm going to say Togepi should not be called a baby Pokemon because it was not introduced as the pre-evolution of a Pokemon that already existed.
Well, it still works very much like it can't breed, and it can only be obtained through
Yeah, but
breeding and
I
you know.
feel like that's still. Yeah.
A lot of I did some looking up stuff, and it is widely considered a baby Pokemon.
I mean, not including Togepi doesn't make me any closer to winning, but
True. Yeah. So I guess that's 1 point for me. I do hope that's the only point I'll get. Question 3 now. All right, question 3. Which symbol from Chinese philosophy is the Hoenn region based on?
Okay.
Musicfan?
Water?
A symbol from Chinese philosophy.
Oh,
Is that your answer, or do you want to change your answer?
I guess it's my answer because I don't know many Chinese symbols.
You said water, right? Just to make sure I didn't mishear you.
Yes, I thought you meant something along the lines of what the symbol would represent.
I see. Well, okay. That is incorrect.
I think I got it.
Do you have an answer, Chase?
No, I don't got it because that makes more sense for Johto than Hoenn. I'm going to say Yin Yang, even though I'm pretty sure that's wrong.
That is correct.
Oh, okay then.
Yes. Looking at the map, like looking at artwork of the map or concept art, you know, it looks a lot like Yin and Yang. It's basically half water and land. And that's also, you know, it's a lot about what the story is about in general, you know. One side wants water, one side wants land.
I put a map in the chat, so I can kind of see that.
I see it now.
It is definitely reminiscent of the yin and yang symbol.
This picture shows it a little bit better, I think.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, like the game map in the game looks a little bit more squarey, or whatever you want to call it. But I think their intention was definitely to have it be reminiscent of that.
Yeah, I can see it now.
Right. So yeah, you learn something new every day. So we move on to the 4th question. Which Pokemon has the move Judgment as its signature move and learns it at level 100?
Okay.
Musicfan?
Arceus?
That is correct.
All right. Congratulations, sir.
Personally, I pronounce it Arceus, but I don't think it really matters. I don't know which one is actually correct. But yeah, it's Arceus. The god of the Pokemon world has come to judge us. Alright, last question. Now, there's a chance for DekuNut to tie it up. In case he does, we will move on to the bonus question, which is basically a bullshit question, but we'll see how it goes. Alright, question 5. What is the name of the villainous team whose original goal was to separate Pokemon and humans from each other? I heard the chair. I heard the chair.
I was going crazy with that thing.
The chair. I heard the chair first.
I almost rolled away from the desk.
Alright, second.
Okay. Team Plasma.
Yes, you are correct.
That would be so bad if I got it wrong.
Yeah. After that intense squeaking. Wow. Alright, so that's 2 points for you each. And luckily I only have 1 point, so I can't win this. Since you two are tied now after...
You can tie it up.
Well, I guess I could, but I don't think I can get a point from the bonus question. So...
Yep, fair. Fair.
So the bonus question is, as, you know, Chase have, you know, he's kind of set the tone for this. It's a sort of a bullshit question. So, you know, I'm just kind of following up on that. And it's just a tiebreaker question. It's only used as a tiebreaker. And so it has a use right here. All right, bonus question sounds like this. Which was my very first Pokemon in my very first main series Pokemon game?
Yours or ours?
My.
Oh. No, you just want to guess back and forth until one of us gets it.
Yeah, that's basically what I'm going to let you do. But I don't know who's going to get the first say, though. Depends on who buzzes first.
Okay.
Yes. Music.
Charmander?
That's incorrect.
I feel like Penn's more of a Gen 3 starting guy, so I'm going to go with Torchic.
Also incorrect.
I will go in the same vein as Mudkip.
That's not right.
Well, I mean, the next obvious answer is Trico.
Well, had I started with Generation 3, I would have probably picked Trico, but no. Musicfan?
Chikorita?
Not Chikorita.
I'm going to continue on the Generation 3 route because I remembered Fire Red, Leaf Green is Gen 3, and I'm going to go with Squirtle.
That's not correct.
Was it Pikachu from not Hey You Pikachu, Pikachu from Yellow version?
It was not. That's a good guess though.
Bulbasaur.
Sorry, what?
Bulbasaur.
Oh,
That was me doing a Bulbasaur impression.
No, it was not Bulbasaur.
Chimchar.
Not Chimchar.
Turtwig.
Not Turtwig either.
Dapper Piplup?
Did you say Piplup?
Yes.
That's incorrect. Man, I'm sorry. I'm sorry this takes so long. I'm sorry.
I don't know. I named it Chespin after you. Is it Chespin?
Do you think I started with Generation 5 or whatever that is? 6?
I think that's Gen 6.
Yeah, that's Generation 6, dude.
Yeah.
Dude, you get to guess another thing for that. So I'm not gonna accept that guess.
I mean, I named one after you. That's the entire reason I chose that. Okay, going with the more likely choice. I mean, the obvious place to go from here is Gen 2. I don't think any Gen 2 Pokemon have been said yet, so I'm going to go with... you said Chikorita already.
Yeah, he did.
So Totodile.
That's incorrect.
Cyniquil?
That's correct! Yay!
Literally the last one that made sense
Yeah,
with your age.
the last one of all the first 4 generation starters. You say all of them except for Cyndaquil. Well, that's correct though. So Musicfan wins this episode, or wins this
Good.
challenge. Congratulations.
Thank you.
It was a tie one though. So yeah.
I'm both sad and relieved I didn't win.
I understand how you feel. I'm relieved I didn't win as well. I mean, I wasn't that close, so yeah, it's all good. It's all good.
Yeah, I will say your questions were hard, or at least the first 2 were kind of hard, but we at least kind of had an idea of what was going on, so it's better than what I was doing.
Yeah, and I think the only one that neither one of you were able to guess was the baby Pokemon question. Other than that, at least one of you were able to guess or get the others right. So
Yeah.
I think that's good enough. And this obviously means that Musicfan will be returning for the next episode to defend his title as champion against somebody else. But by then, DekuNut should be back as the host. So, without further ado, I guess we'll round off the show. Thank you all so much for listening, and we'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.